Be advised, the opinions and views of the hosts and guests do not reflect those of the station.
It's more fun. Philippine Island. It's more fun in the Philippines.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Philippines Uncut. I'm your host, Buddy Kunanan. Now, in this show, we talk about everything under the sun, and tonight's topic is about tourism. We're going to talk to two lovely ladies who are very much at the forefront of Philippine travel writing, and in fact, they write for one of the most popular local travel magazines. And chances are, if you like going holiday and you like adventures, you've already picked up their magazine somewhere and read and browsed through it and read it. Now, we're going to learn from them about how it really is more fun in the Philippines. So joining us are, on my right, starting with Kat Alifanten. She's the editor-in-chief for Philippine Traveler. Hi, Kat. Welcome to
Hello.
Philippines Uncut.
Thank you.
Beside her is Miss Christine Torres, and she is the managing editor for Experience Travel and Living magazine.
Hello.
Good evening, Christine. Welcome to
Good
Philippines
evening.
Uncut.
Thank you.
Now, it's
Yeah.
great to have you ladies here because one of my favorite topics is really tourism. Because we're all voyeuristic and we all like going on holiday, and it really is something that everyone looks forward to.
Yeah,
Going on holiday,
yes.
and as we're going to find out tonight, there's so much to do here in the Philippines. And let's
Definitely.
start by introducing yourselves to the audience. Let's start with Kat.
Okay, I'm Kat, and I'm the editor-in-chief of the Philippine Traveler. The Philippine Traveler is a bi-monthly glossy newspaper under Gusto Publishing. And we distribute to a lot of establishments. We distribute to Starbucks branches nationwide and duty-free, among others.
Okay. Now, Christine, how about you? Tell us
Uh,
a little bit about your background.
Oh, okay. Right now, I'm the managing editor for Experience Travel and Living magazine. I used to be a staff writer there, but now I'm actually we're in the process of making the next issue. So we're doing everything for the next deadline. But Experience Travel and Living is actually also a bi-monthly publication, fully travel magazine. That's the main niche. So we try to veer away from any other distractions like fashion or whatever it might be. Although we have everything that's there for a traveler, and also yes, we try to keep up with the latest travel news as well.
Now, how did you girls get involved in travel and tourism and travel writing? Has it always been, something you've done, you've loved to do? Kat?
Actually, I've always been into writing ever since I was in grade school. But when I started working, I kind of forgotten about it. And then I started writing again back in 2011. And then a friend introduced me to Experience, and then they gave me an assignment, and then from there, it all just went...
Fell into place.
Yes.
Okay. Christine?
Well, for me, I've always been interested into travel. So I love seeing new places, even if it's not that great. I love seeing new. I love being in a new setting. It refreshes me. So for me, working with Experience Travel Magazine, it's opened me up to probably the Philippines. A lot of the destinations here that I didn't know were there, because when we're set on coverage and then you go, you see how beautiful the Philippines is and how many places there are actually to explore. And we've been to a lot of places, and I'm sure that there's like probably 1,000 other places that we can visit.
So, writing for a travel magazine, I mean, obviously, it involves a lot of travel, and they send you on these on these trips, coverages. No?
Yeah.
Yes.
And wow, this is one of the benefits really of working for a travel
Yes.
periodical travel magazine. Unlike other companies or let's say other business or types of jobs where you can find in an office for the greater part of the day, in your case, what is it like? I mean, it's more flexible. Time is more flexible. Do you get a lot of time to? I mean, is it 9 to 5 or is it less confined than that?
We actually have a lot of control about our schedule. Of course, we book coverages differently. I mean, for this week, we can just stay in the office and write, and then for next week, we can be all over the place again. It's not really...
It's the best kind of job to have, huh?
Yes,
Definitely.
not being in the office all day.
Okay, now, unfortunately, Ms. Ginko Untal, who is the founding, the founder of this magazine
Yes.
and publisher and prime mover of Experience Travel, cannot be with us today. Now, interesting that she put this magazine, I think, about 9 or 10 years ago.
Yes.
Why did she start this business?
Actually, her and her husband, they love traveling. So they were looking around for a travel magazine that could give them purely information on travel. So they wanted it to be more, factual. Everything that you need once you go to, let's say, Baler. You know everything that you can do there. It's very straight to the point and direct. So they didn't find anything like that at the time. So that's why they put up Experience Travel and Living magazine.
Yes, and continue, go.
Born of their love for travel.
And we have a couple of copies here, Kat. Christine, can you hold up a copy so
Yeah.
viewers can see it?
Yes, this is our latest issue, the Christmas issue, and this one was the one before that on Pangulasian in Palawan.
Yes.
Very, very beautiful place.
Very nice, and I see on the right, of course, you're featuring Capiz Rising and
Yes.
Creating Christmas in the City, and on the left you have Pangulasian
Pangulasian.
I'm sorry,
Pangulasian Island.
Pangulasian Island Resort. Because where is that?
This is in Palawan.
Ah, nice.
It's very beautiful. It's a newly opened resort. And actually, as you can see, like you mentioned, the cap is rising and all of that.
Yeah.
We like to give a bigger focus on the provincial places as well, because they have a lot to offer. And
Yeah.
you'd think that you'd look for luxury places around the Philippines, but even these provincial places have a lot of cultural heritage to offer. So yeah, it's nice to highlight them.
Okay. Now, Christine, there are a lot of local travel magazines around already, and also international travel magazines. What would you say differentiates your magazine from the others already in the market today?
Oh, okay. Well, actually, one of them, I have two reasons for you. One of them is actually we feature a lot of the unknown places. We try as much as we can. That's why some of them are some of them could be underdeveloped or not exactly luxurious. Although we have big features as well on luxurious places and places outside of the Philippines, we focus on the untouched places as well, so that the travelers, if you mention a traveler, the definition of a traveler to be would be someone that's adventurous and wants to go out of the usual. It's not always about leisure. So we go through the places that are not so known as well. And the number two reason is probably we have a greater focus on the Philippines. I'd say that 80% of the magazine is actually about the Philippines. We also feature international destinations like the U.S. and San Francisco in our past issues, but
Cape Town, I've seen your Cape Town issue, yeah.
Yes, but we have a greater focus on the Philippines. I think mainly because, as we've been saying, it does have a lot to offer. So.
Yes. Now, Kat, you are the editor-in-chief of Philippine Traveler. What is
Yes.
Philippine Traveler? It's also part of the same group
Yes.
of publications, right?
Yes.
Can we see a copy?
Yeah. This is actually an old copy.
Yeah.
We're actually relaunching this year.
It looks like a full-size, almost full-size
Okay.
newspaper, eh?
Yes, it's a A3 newspaper.
Okay.
Um,
Hold it up. Yeah.
Yeah. But for this year, we are changing the look and feel of the magazine.
Yeah.
We want it to be more young and hip since our market is the people that hang out in Starbucks, you
So
know,
this is a free
yuppies.
magazine. This is a free
Yes.
periodical.
Yes, it's
Okay.
complimentary.
Okay.
And then we started with changing the logo, just making it more modern, more clean. And then we want it to be focused more on the contents and not distract the reader from the photography in the article itself.
Yeah. Now, how is this different from Experience Travel, from the magazine? How is this loose periodical different, this free periodical different from your magazine?
Actually, this is more of less formal.
Okay.
We want to use it less formal language than the magazine. We want it to be very conversational. And also, with regards to the places that we feature, we also take into consideration the places that our market would want to go to.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and I understand Experience Travel and Living magazine is bi-monthly.
Yeah.
Yes.
How often does this come out?
This is also bi-monthly.
Also bi-monthly.
Yes.
Okay. Now, okay, let's talk about Philippine tourism today. How do you get feedback from people about what to feature? Let's say, I mean, how do you get a pulse? I mean, how do you feel the pulse of the Philippine traveler? How do you know what they want to see or which place they want to visit? Do you guys get feedback? They write in, they call in? Tell us about that, Christine.
We do get a couple of messages, but
Okay.
of course we try to keep up with the travel trends. So we do our own research on that. So probably after having that research base, we go into looking through the internet to see what does fit the theme for the year. Like if, for example, it would be wellness, or if it would be leisure travel, like luxury travel. Let's say that there's a boom in the economy, especially a lot of people want to spend money. Then that goes into consideration. Where does the economy stand? Where do the other factors stand? And then we do the themes according to that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, do you notice that Pinoys are becoming more adventurous, that they are looking for, something? Because, traditionally when Filipinos talk about travel, I mean, okay, number one, aspirational. They want to go overseas. And traditionally it's been US, Canada, Australia, traditional destinations. Locally, it's always been about Boracay,
Yes.
the summer capital Baguio, Palawan. Now, are you noticing that Filipinos are starting to become more adventurous, looking for places off the beaten track? Ladies.
Actually, I've noticed that people actually want to go to places that like untouched beaches. They don't necessarily like to check into a hotel and then by the beach. They also want to experience like just staying inside a tent and cooking their own food. Those places are actually very popular right now.
Yeah, I think there's a growing market for people that want to go outdoors. That's why you notice all of these outdoor shops popping up as well. It's becoming very popular that you climb a mountain or go to a beach and just hike. So I think a lot of these places that don't necessarily have a big accommodation to them have a lot of, it's best, I think, if you preserve that pristine kind
Sure,
of
sure.
environment. Like we'll be covering some secret places.
We'll have to wait for the magazine to
Yes,
come out.
have to wait for the next issue. But we'll be covering a lot of places like that where it's
Yeah.
like very, very pristine, and then the sand is amazing. You can even say better than Boracay.
Really?
So yeah, a lot of unknown places that have very good potential.
Now, talking about adventure, this is something kind of new. Before, even my friends when I was in college and after college, when people talk about adventure travel, it was always a small group of people who weren't afraid to rough it up. But for the most part, a lot of people wanted, as you said, a little bit of luxury, a little bit of comfort. Now,
Yeah.
really, you notice that more and more people are going for these adventure trips these days.
Yes. I think I see it around in print, on TV as well, on social networks. A lot of people are getting into it. It's really becoming a bigger market, the whole adventure theme. Not just for like lower class markets, also upper A and B markets. They're very into it, especially because equipment can be very expensive.
Yes.
So it's
absolutely.
also, you can say maybe that going out into these fields that are not so luxurious is their own level of luxury.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, very true about what we said about gear, because if you want to go hiking or camping, boots are expensive.
Yeah,
just go to shoes, backpacks,
backpack,
tents.
Yeah,
Just check
tent.
out, just go to your nearest North Face shop, and wow,
Yeah.
you can spend a little fortune.
10,000, 30,000.
Yes,
yeah.
on this gear. Now, local destinations, Kat, our bumper was about more fun in the Philippines. Are there really a lot of places you think that there's still left to be discovered? Because unfortunately, here in the Philippines, the ones being highlighted are really the top 5. You have Cebu, Palawan, Bohol, Boracay, and then
Actually, I went on a trip last year to Cagayan de Oro, and it was my first time. And talking about also adventure, we visited a place there, and we did river trekking and canyoneering. It was a one-of-a-kind experience because you actually have to jump 25 feet free fall into a waterfall.
Wait, really? 25
Yes.
feet? No line, nothing?
No line,
It's not a
nothing.
bungee jump, no?
No, just a free fall, and you only
25
have a life
Okay.
vest on. So those kinds of things. Who would have thought that you would see those?
you do it?
Yes, I did. I was there
Wow.
anyway.
Wow, okay. Weren't you
Yeah.
scared?
I
would-
was. It took me a while.
25 feet is a long jump, eh?
Yeah.
It's high.
It took me a while, yes.
Yeah.
Well, that was just one of the highlights of the canyoneering. And then
Canyoneering.
yes, that's
Okay.
what they,
That's what
they call it.
Okay.
Yes. And then the last station would be rappelling down beside a waterfall for like 65 feet. Yeah, those
Wow.
kinds of things. Who would have thought that you would see those places in Cagayan de Oro?
And that's the thing, no? I mean, some of these places are there. I mean, there are a lot of places like this out there that are very exciting, very beautiful. But number one, maybe not being too advertised or
Yes.
promoted. And number two, infrastructure, right? Maybe they're not developed, no?
Mm-hmm.
Because you talked about hiking, a lot of people more interested in going hiking, climbing mountains and stuff. But I recently came back from South Africa where they have a lot of hiking trails and beautiful. I mean, the government has really put in the infrastructure necessary. Like there are proper hiking trails.
To make it
There are
comfortable
signs.
out.
I mean, there are stations, there are ranger stations, there are guides on how to get there, what to do, etc.,
Very
etc.
safe.
Do you, Christine, do you notice anything like that being done here in the Philippines? Or-
I
yeah.
know there's a place, I'm not exactly sure where they have stations like that, like what you mentioned in
Yeah.
the South African embassy. But usually what we have that I know of is usually a guide just goes with you during your whole trip, and then you have to just pay them a certain fee. But at least you know that somebody who knows the mountain well is with you. And if you go on hiking trails, actually there are already set trails. So you can choose, like for Mount Pulag, you can choose the beginner's trail or what they call the Akiki trail, where it's more like
The
you really have to,
Akiki trail.
yeah, you have to climb it talaga. Pero yeah,
Funny word, funny names.
I know, but that's what it's called.
And what are the other destinations that you have you've gone to, that you've personally experienced and had a great time? Which would be your recommendation, let's say, from experience? travel?
Adventures or any kind of luxurious place.
Let's start with adventure.
Adventure. Maybe Camotes Island.
Camotes Island.
This
Okay.
is in Cebu. Although I don't know if there's a big focus on it because I think they're just trying to develop it now. But it's very adventurous how you get there itself, because you have to ride a tugboat and there are like animals in the bottom of the ship. But you see there are also foreigners going there. They love how it's so, I don't know, how you say hands-on. It's like this, it's so adventurous.
Yeah.
So yeah, you go to Camotes Island, they have caves there, you can explore their beaches, and they have a lot to offer, I think. Yeah.
And have you featured this already in your magazine?
Yes.
You have, eh?
I think around 3 issues ago.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, for people, okay, we're talking about all these destinations. For people who want to see, let's say, are you guys online? Do you have like, if someone wants to get more information about the destinations that you featured, can they go to your website? Can they get information there?
Our website right now is being developed, but you can check out our Facebook group. Just type Experience Travel and Living, and then you'll find it on the search box.
Let's talk about luxury naman, because we talked about adventure. How about luxury? What are your ladies' experiences here in the Philippines with regard to luxury travel and that?
Actually, I went to a resort in Cebu in Mactan. It was really unforgettable for me, not just because of the facilities, of the food, of the beautiful beach, but also of the customer service from their people, from their staff. Sometimes
What's the name of the place?
it's Crimson Resort and
Crimson
Spa
Resort and Spa. Nice.
in Mactan.
Okay.
Sometimes the customer service of a place really contributes to your total experience as a guest.
Absolutely. Very important. Yes, to make it pleasurable and a pleasant stay and all of that. Absolutely. How about you, Christine?
My pick would probably be the farm at San Benito.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's very nice. I like how they have a strict philosophy. Like all of their
So
staff.
wellness, it's like the detox center,
Yes,
no?
it's very organic. It's strictly vegan cuisine as well. So they have a doctor there who reassesses your acidity level and all of that. And the place itself is it's very therapeutic. Just looking at it, there are peacocks that go around, and they have spa huts and gazebos where you can have your very, very lavish massages.
Although this is luxury, I understand the
Yes.
farm. I've never been to the farm, unfortunately, but I've heard from friends that it is a bit pricey.
Yeah, very, very, very pricey. They actually opened their newest, I forgot the Nara Villas, which are very, very pricey. And yeah.
Okay. Now, for travelers like me, a nice thing that something we like to do is to share our experiences, and one of the ways we do it is by writing about it. Now, can people write for your publications and say, do you accept contributors, and how do they go about it?
Definitely. We actually have a lot of contributors every issue. Sometimes they're very, very different and from different backgrounds as well. So anyone that's interested in contributing for the magazine you can send us an email actually at editorialexperiencemagazine@gmail.com, and then we'll get back to you for sure, especially if you have travel stories on hand,
Yes.
even stories that you've done before and you just want to share. We're very open to them.
Both local and foreign
Both local and
travel.
foreign, yes.
And it's a great, it's good to tap travelers because, obviously you two ladies and your staff can't get around completely. I mean, there's a lot of area to
Yes.
cover, no?
Definitely, yeah.
So your contributors would really be your eyes and ears on the ground and
Yes.
telling you about the cool places, the nice places, the great places to visit. Plans for 2013, let's start with Kat for the
For
Philippine Traveler.
Traveler.
What are your plans for this your free mag?
We've already laid down the theme for every issue. We're really excited to come out with our first issue for this year. It's our Valentine's issue. We'll be featuring a lot of new places for the summer issue. We want to make it about how to make the most out of summer since it's just 2 months. How can you make the most out of those 2 months? So things like that. Yeah.
And very timely, no? Because
Yeah.
it's coming out in Feb, and as you said, summer is around the corner, and I'm sure a lot of people are now, making plans already.
Yes.
Where we're gonna go, and let's say, I hope you tailor make also some of your suggestions for different categories, so because
Yes.
not everyone can spend the same amount on a holiday.
Of
So
course.
something luxury, medium range, and maybe
Budget.
budget. Okay, great. How about you? What are your plans, Christine, for experience, travel, and living?
Yeah, we actually had recently our editorial meetings as well, and we want to do a lot of changes as well. Like for the Philippine Traveler, they went through a whole revamping, but for experience, travel, and living, I think it's more of staying together with the niche of travel and Philippines, basically rebranding it and staying true to the brand that it's purely travel. And also, I think you'll be seeing a lot of changes with the layout, especially with our new issue, which we're working on now.
Nice. And because at the
Yeah.
moment it's very beautiful, very very catchy, nice cover, nice pictures, nice colors.
Yeah.
So we expect
Thank
something
you.
exciting this year from Experience Travel and Living, and of course
Yes.
for Philippine Traveler.
Yes.
So ladies, stay tuned first because we're gonna come back and we're gonna talk about wellness tourism here in the Philippines. Guys, don't go away because in a few moments Philippines Uncut will return with wellness tourism. Welcome back to Philippines Uncut. I'm your host, Buddy Kunanan. Tonight's topic is about tourism, and joining us still is Christine Torres, Managing Editor of Experience Travel and Living magazine, and joining her now is Dr. Sunny A. Viloria, and he is the Medical Director of BioVital Holistic Center and Symbios. Okay, welcome, Doctor, to our second segment. And the reason why I'm so glad you're here is because earlier Christine and I were talking about tourism, and one of the major areas of tourism growth now in the Philippines and the entire Southeast Asia really is wellness slash health tourism.
Yeah.
Right now, let's talk about the definition of health tourism, medical tourism, wellness tourism from the magazine. How would you define it, Christine?
Wellness tourism and health tourism.
Yeah, medical tourism. I mean, how would you define what exactly is medical tourism and wellness tourism?
Well, from my perspective, medical tourism is probably all of for example, if you have cancer patients or any sort of illness, it's more catered towards helping that. But wellness tourism is probably more of like the spa life, more leisurely kinds of activities.
Now, have you guys in the media, in the tourism media industry, have you noticed an upsurge in readers' demand or interest in these topics?
Yes, actually, I've noticed a lot of demand for organic products. So it's becoming really, really in the market, whether you're young, especially if you're elderly. So yeah, wellness definitely is becoming a really, really big market. I've been seeing it a lot in promotional print magazines.
And you featured some in
well.
your magazine as well.
Yes,
I understand.
Yes, which I mentioned a while ago, the farm at San Benito.
And we're going to meet another, Dr. Viloria is also heading a similar outfit like the farm, but something a little different, eh?
Yes.
Dr. Viloria, again, welcome to Philippines Uncut. Let's, can you introduce yourself to our audience?
Well, I'm Dr. Sunny Viloria, a medical graduate from St. Louis University, and I had studies on natural therapies and traditional Chinese medicine from Brisbane, Australia. And then right now, we've been in the market. We have the alternative health clinic. The name is BioVital. It has been there for the past 14 years, and then we put up now this time it's of the lifestyle farm, or what we call the Symbios.
So Symbios is like a resort.
Yes,
but
a health resort.
What kind of resort is it? What exactly do you do in Symbios?
Actually, the term is wellness tourism, as you mentioned before. No, I just would like to clarify.
Sure.
When you say medical tourism, it's more gearing towards repair or restructuring or treatment, just like what Christine was saying, no?
For illness,
for
or
illness,
you want
yeah.
something done with your teeth,
for
or
vanity,
like vanity.
yeah,
Okay.
for restructuring. If you have to have more butts,
Yeah.
if you have to more facial, what you call repair, something like that, no? But this time, when you use the word wellness tourism, there is something like the heart or the soul already, because the approach is already holistic. Meaning, you touch also the mental, emotional, and even spiritual aspect of the being.
Okay, and then this is where you are in now, wellness
Yes.
tourism. Now, what led you to wellness tourism?
Well, with my more than 20 years of experience with the patients, I've seen so many patients, no matter how much medication they get, no matter how much they spend, they do not get well unless they receive the proper detoxification, particularly organically or biologically, spiritually also, or emotionally. And then the most popular, I keep on reiterating this about the electromagnetic field, because of the too much technology that we have, which hampers the normal flow or pathway of electricity in our body that
Yeah.
affects our health, or in short, stress.
Yes, and you guys at Symbios and BioVital Holistic Center,
Yeah.
you are trying to address all of these
Yes,
modern, these concerns of the modern era, where you said you live with electromagnetic field and
Yes,
stress and all that, and toxins.
And then another thing, we would like to open the mind of the people that we do not create sickness by ourselves. No? There are some, I don't know if you're going to accept it, buddy, but there are also some entities, negative or positive, which are within our environment, within our surrounding, that affects our health.
Yes, yes. Now, okay, let's talk about the industry, about the wellness or medical tourism industry. It really is growing very big, fast, and in fact, other countries in the region have really capitalized on it, like Thailand.
Yeah.
We're very big into
Yes,
medical tourism. In fact, they have people flying in from Germany, from France, from mainly from Western Europe, and they fly to Thailand because the cost of medical care is so much cheaper.
Cheaper, yeah.
And they have, aside, they get 5-star treatment, plus they have that whole Asian the Asian service, which
Yes,
is, I hate to say it, but it really is a lot better than the kind of service,
Yeah.
that human touch that you would
Yes.
have here, that you wouldn't necessarily have in, let's say, Western countries, more developed countries. What do you
Yeah.
say about that, Christine?
Yeah, definitely. I think that there's a it's more warm in Asian countries. That, yeah, we have a lot of, we try to make it more holistic. I think that Asia could definitely be one of the wellness centers of the world, because it's very, when you see Filipinos or Asians in general, like they really try to tackle everything all the way down to the care that they give and how they give it. So wellness can be really big.
Is your
here.
magazine planning to focus more on this, on wellness and medical tourism this year?
There could be an issue for it. Yeah.
Yeah, I hope you,
sure,
I hope
for
you feature
sure.
Dr. Villoria's outfit. Huh?
Yes, we will.
You can use the, the publicity.
Yeah.
Now, Dr. Villoria, I mentioned Thailand because really, it really is a leader in Southeast Asia. They're probably the #1 destination
Yes,
for this.
it is.
How is what is your approach now with wellness tourism? How are you different? How can the Philippines be different from Thailand in this regard?
You know, one thing I noticed about Thailand, the reason they are much into this, of course, as you mentioned, the cost itself, which is quite astronomical when you go to the Western countries, but theirs is about, I think it's about a third only of the price. No? Second is the culture itself. That's the main attraction for the Europeans. They love the culture. They were able to present or package their culture very well. So I think for the Filipinos, that's what we should focus on. No? We have so many resources. When you say resources, it could be in the form of services or products itself. We have right now, I would say, products particularly which is very much interested among the foreigners are the equivalent of olive oil is the coconut oil.
Okay.
That's very popular abroad, no? Particularly being used in the spa industry. And then your essence like ilang-ilang. And then I heard there are some cruise ships that using already malunggay.
Yes, and are you focusing on these? I mean, just on these three among other things.
Yes,
You're
yes.
really doing indigenous treatments, indigenous products, indigenous
In fact, we started planting all these kind of trees already.
Okay. Now, in this sense, the Philippines has something different to offer than, let's say,
Yes.
in Thailand. I mean, of course, Thailand, they have their
It's
Thai
something
massage.
unique.
I'm sure they have their own thing.
We also have our own massage, what we call a silot, no? Or the equivalent of Thai foot massage, which is dagdagay, which comes from the mountain.
Dagdagay?
Which comes from the mountain province.
How is it different from Thai foot massage?
Well, in dagdagay, they also use certain sticks. It's just, I would say, the position. I mean, the location where they put the sticks, no? They stick the sticks.
And in hilot, okay, I mean, of course, you've all heard about hilot. Let's say, growing up, if I had a sprain or whatever, someone say, oh, pahilot natin.
Yes.
But somehow, it hasn't, how come it hasn't caught on? I mean, you go to massage place now, you have Swedish, Shatsu, you've got Thai massage. How come the whole hilot, it's a native thing, it's something we grew up with, but how come it hasn't been developed? How come awareness is so
I think
low?
there's still a confusion on that part, no? And it still needs lots of study. Because a study was conducted before by UP. And there was a difference between a hilot from the north, from Luzon, as well as Mindanao. So how will it be jibed? Another thing is that what they're using liniments, there's also a difference. There are those who don't use liniments, and there are those who use lana or coconut oil. No? So right now, there's nothing specific about what kind of hilot, particularly in the direction of the massage. When you do the Swedish, you normally do it, the direction should be towards the heart.
yeah.
No? But in hilot, it could be up and down.
No, but how come it hasn't caught on even with us as Filipinos here living in the country? You know, I like going for massages, and the one they ask me, Shatsu or Swedish. But how
yeah.
come hilot? It's somehow forgotten. It hasn't become mainstream.
I think it has something to do, sorry to say it, with the government also, with the concentration. I used to work before with the Department of Health. We were the one to introduce the TAMA, or Philippine Institute for Traditional Alternative Healthcare. That was 1995.
Okay.
From that time, we only developed 10 herbal medicine, 10 herbal plants, no? Until now, it still remains to be 10 herbal plants. And we did not tackle,
Since 1995.
Yeah, and we didn't tackle or discuss more about the hilot, anything like that. No?
Yes,
So
yes.
what we're trying to apply more is the reflexology, which came from China. So
Okay.
there should be political will. If that will be developed, that's very, very
Yes,
good.
I think the DOT under Secretary Jimenez is really very
Yes.
active, and even their show now, it's more fun in their advertisement. It's more fun in the Philippines. It's all about things you can do locally and,
Uh-huh.
and fun stuff to do.
Actually, there are some certain spas who offer hilot, but they alter. I mean, they have different practices somehow. They
Yes.
have different maneuvers, but they
Yes.
just use the word hilot itself.
And this is a mainstay of your
Yes.
center. You really are focusing on hilot.
Hilot, yeah.
Okay, great. Now, Christine, we talked about the farm earlier, and this is actually something along the lines of what Dr. Villoria is trying to accomplish in your center. Now, unfortunately for the farm, beautiful place, but it's also very kind of prohibited.
Right.
Have you been to the farm?
Yes. We've actually covered it in our latest issue. Yeah.
Describe the experience. Describe the farm experience.
Well, I describe it as holistic actually
Yeah.
because they have a medical center there where you can have yourself checked. They have the strictly vegan food, so it's very like leading you onto the detoxification process. They even have special bathrooms where, like, if for example you're a couple, you have separate bathrooms because detoxification process. You have a lot of
Sure. Toxins.
toxins going out of your body. So they also have like therapists and programs like yoga and wellness kind of activities in the farm. So that's why I say it's very holistic, and the place itself is also serene.
Yes.
Yeah, they also cultivate certain things like coconut.
Yeah.
So they make coconut oil, all of that, and that's what they use in their massages and their food as well.
Now, Dr. Villoria, how is your place different from, let's say, a place like the farm?
Well, first of all, the location itself. It's about 20-30 minutes drive from Quezon Memorial Circle. That's a
Your
major,
place?
yeah.
That's Symbios?
Yeah, Symbios.
Okay.
And then second are the offering. We would like to help somehow more of the middle class and those also of the lower class, because aside from letting them stay at the Symbios, we also conduct regular lectures. It's more of awakening their senses as well as letting them know that these are the causes of the diseases, just like your electromagnetic field, which can be treated with proper pranic healing or Reiki healing or earthling, and that's how they call it, or grounding. No, we just let them walk at the stream of water, which is starting from the waterfalls going to the lagoon, those things. And then we also introduce the locavore concept. Locavore means you have to introduce indigenous resources, particularly food, which you can find within your 100 kilometers environment. No, so that means there could be lesser carbon impact from the environment. Second is that you're trying to generate more employment for the local people,
Yes,
and then the chance that the food that they're going to take is more fresh and it's more nutritious.
Yes. Now, describe your place. Describe what what Symbios looks like.
Well, it's
You said 20 minutes outside Manila.
Yeah.
So, I mean, with the traffic now and congestion, you go 20 minutes outside Manila, you're not really going very far.
yeah.
So-
Well, it's about, as you mentioned, 20 minutes from Manila. It's at the top of the mountain. The temperature is just like Tagaytay. It's quite cool.
Wow, really?
Yeah, we even have some fogs. And where would you find alitap-tap or fireflies in the evening?
Really? Still?
Yes, you still
Are
have
you
it.
sure we're talking about the same place?
Yeah,
20
yes.
minutes outside Manila?
Yes. Yeah. It's actually, if I may
Sure,
mention
please,
the name,
please,
it's
yeah.
a Timberland Farm Estate.
Okay.
And usually every weekend there are lots of bikers there that goes down. They're even saying that that's right now the bikers' capital of the Philippines.
So your place it's located on top of a mountain
yeah.
or
top of the
yeah.
mountain, but it's a hill. Actually, it's a valley.
Okay.
I mean, no. So it's a big slice of land. It's about 6,500 square meters. At the top, when you're at the top, you can see. When you look at the left side, it's from Manila Bay to Laguna de Bay. But when you look at the right side, on the other side, you can see the Mount Arayat here in Manila.
And you said Timberland. It's located in an exclusive village.
Well-secured village.
Okay. And then on the site, what kind of facilities do you have?
Well, as much as possible, we try to encourage the art of doing nothing. I think that's
like
the
that.
most. Yeah, that's the most relaxing. When I am there, I normally just try to be afloat at the lagoon, and I can do that half day doing nothing. You're really going to enjoy it.
Lagoon.
Yeah. Okay, just under the bamboo groves, nakaduyan ka lang. and then that's it most of the time. And then we let them eat what they want naturally, and then mostly we offer fruits most of the time.
Do you have accommodation on site?
We have accommodations right now. And then, have you experienced taking a bath in a batalan? You know what a
What is
batalan is?
batalan? Christine, does know what a batalan is? I don't know.
That's an open bathroom. That's an open bathroom. So we don't have water heater. We don't have air conditioner. Everything is fresh.
Okay, let's go back to this open bathroom. When you say open bathroom, it brings a lot of ideas, but I'm not sure exactly what to think about it.
Well, at least there's a cover. There's a concrete or something like a nipa up to this level only.
Okay.
But you can see it's open right now. It's you can even see the bamboo leaves going into your face, something like that.
And it's all native material, the
Yes.
cottages, all that.
You know, one thing I experienced now, when I'm sleeping in our house, which is made up of concrete aircon, usually I'm already awake by 2 a.m. But whenever I sleep at the farm, I usually wake up about 4 to 5 a.m. And that's the feeling that you don't know that you're still alive. That's a big difference. You're really well rested when you have that, no? Di ba, when we sleep, meron tayong dream state, no? But with that, wala, totally.
Wow, and I understand that your place, you try to minimize anything electronic, any
Yes.
kind of. How do you do that? How do you
Well,
accomplish that? It's hard now to go to a place where there's no cell signal or no Wi-Fi. How do you isolate yourself from all these
Luckily,
electromagnetic?
when I acquired it, there's really no electromagnetic field anymore. There's no signal. So I think that's it. I don't know until when will that be.
Yes, yes.
And then, in fact, when I came there first, there was even a honeybee, yung beehive. And that's a sign actually that there's no electromagnetic field, and there are lots
Really?
of
How come?
fireflies.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, so you mean to tell me, like, if there's an electromagnetic field created by a cell site or Wi-Fi, how come this affects the presence of honeybees?
They are so sensitive all about this electromagnetic field.
Okay. Now, let's talk about promoting these, because your establishment is fairly new. It's new. You only
Yes.
opened in November, right,
Yeah.
last year, and there aren't many like your place in the country, and clearly there's a lot of potential for this back to roots, using indigenous
Nature.
techniques and indigenous products. How can we promote this, locally and let's say overseas? Christine, let's start with you with the magazine.
Promote the local scene.
Yes, like example, this kind of wellness, this back to indigenous local traditions and differentiating ourselves from Thailand and other countries who are doing the same thing.
Well, actually, for Experience Magazine, an added part of it is that it's distributed outside of the country as well.
Oh, okay.
So the beautiful thing about that is for local places, like for example, his place, it's featured in the magazine, and people, foreigners and people who live abroad can go back to it and be like, oh, this is what my home looks like now, this is what the new developments in the country right now. So I think, that helps with the promotion, of course, when you have it on a magazine, and of course with the DOT's campaign now, I think it's a very, very big
Absolutely.
help.
Absolutely. And how about with Pinoys? How do we promote Dr. Vilora's,
With Binoys, like
Yeah.
locally
Yes,
here.
yes.
I think
I've only heard about it now, and I want to go.
Yeah.
But see, so few people have heard about these places that are kind of off the beaten track that people don't know about. We know about the big places, famous places like the farm, but not other places.
I think for me,
Yeah.
in terms of promotion, the social media networking thing is a
Yes.
really, really big thing, especially, when people
Exactly.
start sharing links and stuff like that. It means that they genuinely want to show you this place, guys.
It's
this
not
place is
paid for.
amazing.
It's not. It's
Yeah.
voluntary, right?
Yeah, what
made
they
an
call
impact on
trending
them.
types
Yeah.
of things,
Yes.
and especially if you're very nationalistic and you want to look into the spots in the Philippines that you like, then you share it. You share articles on stuff like that. Yeah.
Excellent. Dr. Viloria, how are you promoting Symbios today, currently?
Right now, I talk on the radio as well as social media.
Which social media?
Facebook, mostly
oh,
Facebook.
okay.
And then referrals, of course.
Yes.
And there's even a group who came all the way from Cagayan de Oro. They spent their New Year in our place.
Really? How was New Year like in your place? Very quiet.
Very quiet with lots of lights.
With lots, I'm sorry.
Lights.
Lights. Okay. Are you planning to do other promotions? What kind of promotions are you?
Right
have in the
now,
works?
I would like to maintain first the serenity of the place. I do not want a big number of people because the place will really be destroyed. At the very start, I'm supposed to have it something like a retreat place, particularly. And I was even targeting before those who are working at the call center. Because I pity them a lot.
Yeah,
They're
they need
so
major
young.
detox.
Yeah, they really need a detox.
Super.
No?
I've heard
Graveyard.
horror
Yes.
stories about the physical state of our Filipinos working in call centers. They keep bad
Yes.
hours. They don't sleep right. They don't eat right.
That's
they smoke
why-
too much. Drink too much caffeine.
Stress. Yeah.
And
They
there you
drink in
go.
the morning so they can sleep
Yeah,
when they go home.
geez. How many people can you sustain? I mean, can your center accommodate with maintaining sustaining the tranquility of the place?
If it is actually just like, let's say, a whole day seminar, we can accommodate as much as 50. But overnight stay, we accommodating only between 10 to 20.
Only, wow. I mean, that's not a lot.
Yes.
So I think you have your hands. So any plans to expand this year? Maybe have a satellite?
Not yet at this year, but
location?
we still have somewhat to perfect everything.
Yes, yes. Okay, and unfortunately we've come to the end of our show, but we're definitely going to feature more of tourism and people like you, Christine. I hope you come back to the show again to talk about your as you roll out your new products.
Thank you
And of
for
course, Dr.
having me.
Villoria, we're going to see you next week.
Yes.
But before we go, last words from Christine.
Yeah, you guys can catch the next issue of Experience Magazine coming out in February, and I hope you enjoy all of the new inputs that we have for this year.
Where can they find Experience Travel and Leisure?
You can find it in any national bookstore.
Travel and
outlet.
Living, Experience Travel and Living. Seriously,
Yes.
pardon me, continue.
Experience Travel and Living, you can find it in National Bookstore. You can buy it there. You can also go to Starbucks and just squat around for a bit and then look around. We also have complimentary copies with them as well.
Excellent, excellent. Thank you, Christine. Dr. Villoria, as I said again, next week, you and
Yes.
me, 1 hour, we're going to talk about your
Yeah.
show because really one segment is too short to delve into everything about the Symbios. But last words from you, sir?
Well, I think I have just to reiterate the mission of BioVital, no? Which is we treat, we teach, we reach.
Thank you very much, sir. And maybe some contact details.
Okay, my number, particularly cell phone number na lang, 0921-260-8459. I repeat, 0921-260-8459. There
And
they can reach already BioVital as well as Symbios, no? Or they can visit the website, Symbios Holistic and Wellness Retreat.
Is that on
Sorry,
Facebook or is it its own
Facebook.
website?
Facebook,
So just type that?
yeah. Symbios, Symbios, Holistic and Wellness Sanctuary.
Yes, and they can know, and your information is all there on
Yes.
Facebook. Great. Thank you very much, Christine.
Thank you.
And thank you very much, Dr.
Thank you,
Villoria.
thank
More
you.
power to you guys. And
Yeah.
definitely, we're going to feature, as I said, we're going to feature more tourism. And of course, you, sir, next week.
Yeah.
So, guys, I hope you liked our show about Philippine tourism. Join us again next week on the show where we talk about what matters to you because you guys matter the most. See you next week.